Hello, friends. It's raining today, so the lighting is going to be a bit shit. But anyway, I have kind of a double vintage video for you guys. This is Matisson, a Japanese brand. And this is Lefranc and Bourgoise. I cannot French, people. I cannot French. And they are both vintage, and they have different reasons why I have. Well, okay, maybe the same reason why I both have them here today. Both of these brands do have modern counterparts, but they are very expensive to get apparently in the United States. And I couldn't get the modern equivalent of either of these brands, so I figured, you know what? Let's double up, and we'll have a little modern comparison against some brands I can actually get a hold of. Matisson is a Japanese brand. Nippon, that's the Japanese word for Japan. Nippon Color Co. Limited. Yes. They have their little logo. This, I think, is from about the early 60s or something. You can definitely find Matisson sets on eBay, but only vintage ones. The modern one, I could only get through Amazon Japan for like $50 a tube, and I didn't want to do that for burnt sienna. Similarly, Lefranc and Bourgoise is a French brand, and similarly, the only thing I could find was an entire set for $150, and I didn't want to do that for burnt sienna. So yeah, they have nothing really on the back. This, I estimate, is from the late 60s, 70s, somewhere around that, because of the enamel and the plastic cap. The cap could have been changed out, but I don't know. This was at some point $1. Yeah, and we are going to test them out against Winsor & Newton burnt sienna, which is more orangey, I think, than what is displayed on these tubes. And because I have it, Vasari burnt sienna, because why not? I had it in my little tube set. My lovely sister got me some Vasaris for my birthday, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Sponsored by my sister, I guess. Anyway, we are going to mix them up with a little bit more good old titanium white from Michael Harding, because that's the first white I pulled out of my thing. And yeah, we're going to, okay. I forgot that this was on the top. Nippon Oil Color Co. Yeah. And we are going to test them out and see if they're even still viable, because I don't know, maybe they're better than the vintage Winsor & Newton. And yeah, this we had to use the old hot water trick to get open, because I do believe someone used this at some point. So they're, yeah. We are going to, ooh, that came out smooth though. It did have some leakage on the bottom if that's not apparent enough, but that came out really nice and smooth for a vintage tube, and that's not on correctly. Is that on correctly? I want to make sure, whatever, it's fine, it's fine. And yes, I had to get a new palette knife because I accidentally destroyed my old one on clay, and I have discovered that clay is a messy medium and destroys everything it touches. So yes, we got a new palette knife. Yeah. And ooh, that is, yeah. Okay. That is a big old brownish shade over there. We're going to get some Michael Harding titanium white involved. And this new palette knife is probably going to take me some time to get used to, because it's a curvy one, and I don't usually use palette knives for more than mixing. So this is what we're doing. This is going to take me some getting used to, and we're just going to make a little bit of a mess, because that's what we, yeah. There we go. That's good enough. Yeah. And now we're going to clean that off. I did not get the garbage can ready ahead of time like the dunce that I am, so they're going to have some garbage noises. And I'm wearing the gloves because this tube is a little bit sticky, and that's the only reason we're doing that. Come on. I'm having a harder time cleaning this palette knife. Yeah, there we go. Garbage noises. Okay. Now we got the... Someone will correct me on the pronunciation at some point. Lefranc and Bourgoise. I failed French in college, which is sad as I'm part French. But anyway, let's see if this... Ooh, that came out really nice and smooth too, actually, for a vintage tube. Vintage tubes are hit or miss. A lot of the times they'll just get stuck and nothing will come out of them. And sometimes it'll be like, we have been made yesterday. Ooh, that is a darker shade of brown from the Matisson. That is definitely darker. And we got the titanium white, and that's what we're doing. I'll tell you right now, Winsor & Newton's Burnt Sienna is extremely orange. That's why I pulled in the Vasari, because Winsor & Newton is sometimes just beating the beat of its own drum, so to speak. Yeah. Palette knife. I'm having trouble, folks, with this slightly curvy. Good enough. Yeah. But that is definitely a much darker brown than the Matisson. And yeah. Oof. Next time, I'll have to buy a different palette knife. Something more pointy, like my old palette knife. Yeah. Come on. Come. There we go. That's clean enough. We are getting there. Garbage noises. Okay, Winsor & Newton straight up is kind of orangey. Look at that orangey. Yeah. When we mix it with the white, the orange is definitely going to pop out. Right now, it's kind of looking you can even see the orange a little bit as it's going, but oh, it's actually darker than the other two. Okay. Now we got titanium white. I love vintage paints. I just love vintage paints. The stuff you can't get anymore. Although a lot of the times, technically you can. It's just a lot more difficult or different, or the company changed hands 5 or 6 times over the past decades. And yeah, that is some orangey orange. That is an orangey kind of thing going on. I don't know if the camera's picking up. This is just trust me. This is Winsor & Newton's definitely more orange. Now we gotta clean that off. We're gonna look at the Vasari for our final little bit. We probably could have mixed more colors and see what else pops up. And this palette knife doesn't want to get clean. There we go, clean palette knife. Vasari. I got some stuff on my thumb. But yes, come on, open up. You're the newest tube. You should be able to open up easy. There we go. Yeah. We got some. Vasari, as I've stated in my previous videos, are difficult to kind of get hold of. They're very modern. They are very modern. They're not vintage in any way whatsoever. But they're a small company, so the only way you can get Vasari is either by going to their showrooms in New York City or Pennsylvania. And that is not as brown as Winsor & Newton out of the tube, but we'll see how it mixes. But it's either buy it in their showroom in New York City, where I live, or Pennsylvania somewhere, which I have not been to, or buy it online from their store, but you have to order a minimum of $100 of stuff, and then they'll charge shipping and tax on top of that. And I don't want to do that, so I just go to the showroom whenever I need to, but it's a little out of the way for me. New York City's big, and a lot of things are happening. A lot of things have been happening lately, I should say. People that know. Oh. Come on, there you go. Yeah, okay. So we already... Vasari's definitely more brown compared to Winsor & Newton. Like, more of a tannish, it actually comes out to. Definitely more brown compared to Winsor & Newton's more orangey take on Burnt Sienna, for reasons. And the vintage ones are more in line with Vasari. This one is definitely a deeper... This is the Lefranc and Bourgoise. Someone correct me. I cannot French. And this is the Matisson. I will say that you can probably get vintage oil painted Matisson tubes on places like Sendico, which most people use for technology, but to get like old Game Boys and stuff. But you can find oil paint if you really want to spend a lot of money on shipping straight from Japan. But yes, there are Matisson sets on eBay if you want. They can sometimes have some more interesting colors. Japanese naming system is not the same as the American naming system or British naming system for paint, so you'll sometimes find things like Old Rouge Magenta, and you're just like, what? Then there's the French, the Frank and Bourgoise, and yeah, I couldn't... They're definitely easier to get in the UK, I imagine, but not here in the United States. So yeah, the only place I could find that were UK sites that only ship in the UK, or one eBay set for $150, and I didn't want to do that. So yes, that's what was happening here. Matisson, Lefranc and Bourgoise, vintagey, Winsor & Newton modern, and Vasari modern. And now we have a whole we have a whole bird Sienna lineup for you guys. Okay, thank you. If you want to see more random vintage comparisons, which will hopefully make more sense and be against their modern counterparts, let me know. If you want to see anything in particular, let me know. Like and subscribe. Sponsored by my sister for buying me paint. Thank you. Goodbye.